Captain's pizza order. That night, just before closing, the pizzeria phone rang. At first there was only silence, but then a frail, trembling voice whispered, "Please, deliver me a regular pizza." The voice sounded more like a plea from the grave than an order. I wrote down the address, but the line went dead abruptly. Around 10 p.m., I reached the house, a rotting wooden shack, swallowed by darkness. The windows were pitch black. When I rang the bell, nothing happened. I was about to leave when I saw her, an old woman, hair tangled, pale eyes wide, staring at me from the window. I lifted the pizza box and shouted, "I've got your order." Her face shifted from blank to a grotesque grin, lips cracked and bleeding, teeth black and rotten. The smile sent ice through my veins. I bolted back to my car, but when I started the engine, the pizza box was gone. In its place on the passenger seat lay a withered hand, dripping black blood. My breath froze as I felt something cold exhale down my neck. In the rearview mirror, the old woman sat in the back seat, eyes bulging, that same awful grin stretching across her face. I sped all the way back to town, but when I turned around, she was gone. Only the stench remained, and stains of blood etched into my skin, impossible to wash off. To this day, I still hear the phone ring in my dreams, and her voice whispering, "Regular pizza for me." Story 2. The Cabin in the Woods. It was my last delivery of the night. The GPS led me through a foggy forest until it cut out completely. Flashing, arrived before a decaying wooden cabin, swallowed by waist-high grass. The front door was dark. I knocked, and heavy footsteps creaked across the rotting floorboards inside. They stopped, right behind the door. I saw an eye staring at me through the peephole. "It's the pizza," I said. A raspy voice groaned. "Bring it, out back." Against every instinct, I forced myself to circle the house. Out back sat a table and 4 chairs. One chair was turned away, and someone sat motionless in it, head tilted unnaturally to the side. "Your pizza," I muttered. No reply. I stepped closer. That's when a whisper hissed directly into my ear. "Not there, over here." I spun around. A man leaned from the corner of the house, eyes bulging, mouth split into a deranged, blood-stained grin. At that moment, the chair turned slowly by itself. On it sat not a body, just a severed head, its eyes locked on mine. I screamed and ran for my car. When I reached it, the doors were wide open. Muddy footprints led from the forest into the driver's seat. I drove like hell back to town. Later, police told me that cabin had been abandoned for over 30 years, once the site of a family murder. But then Story 3, the man in the back seat. That night, I was delivering through dense fog on an empty forest road. Out of nowhere, a figure lunged into my headlights. Thump, my car struck him. Heart pounding, I stumbled out. A man in a black hoodie lay motionless on the ground. Before I could react, a woman's scream tore through the woods. "Help me, please." I turned. A shadow darted between the trees, then silence. The forest crackled with footsteps circling me. When I looked back, the man was gone. Only a blood trail smeared across the dirt, dragging into the trees. Panicked, I jumped back in the car and continued to the delivery. The customer, a middle-aged woman, opened the door, but her eyes suddenly widened, staring past me. "Oh, when did your shop start sending delivery drivers in pairs?" she asked. Cold terror gripped me. Slowly, I looked into the rearview mirror. Sitting in the back seat was the man in the hoodie, face pale, lips stretched into a bloody grin, in his hand a dripping knife. I bolted from the car, screaming. When police arrived, the back seat was empty, but under it, they found a blood-soaked sack filled with shattered bone fragments. Even now, whenever I drive alone at night, I feel eyes watching me in the mirror, waiting for me to blink.